Why, hello. Welcome to another episode of Open Mic. I am your host, Mike DeVore. Today we have a wonderful guest. Our first guest on this podcast ever.
Oh.
Yeah, her name is Samantha Rund. She's amazing. That's her right there. You can say hello to the...
Hello.
There we go. Hey!
Yeah.
We're here. We're live. We're not live, but we're here. Like
We're alive.
Yeah, we're recording this. Yeah, I just wanted to bring Samantha in because she's a wonderful person. She's a great performer. She's a great actor. She's a great comedian. And like I said, she's a wonderful person. So I'd like the rest of the world to get to know her, even though she's kind of shy. And she obviously wants to be here right now. How's your tea?
Good.
Alrighty then. So before we begin, let's just get into it. So how should we talk about how we met or no?
You want to talk about
it? Set the scene up. Set the scene up of how we met.
So the reason how we met, am I supposed to be looking right into camera just at you? Because I haven't done one of these where I'm not just looking at the person.
I'm trying to get better at both.
So we're supposed to look in here and look over there.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
No, you guys, that's a little bit of the behind the scenes I should have asked before we started. What can I say, you guys? I was having some tea. Yeah, so funny story about how we met is I was living in Los Angeles. I'd never done comedy before. And here this guy sees me. He's like, hey, you should start doing comedy. I'm totally just like, I'm obviously making that up because we met at a comedy festival.
Yes.
But whenever people who haven't met me first, if they see me for the first time with him, they're like, oh, so when did he get you into doing comedy? Like, no, that's not.
She earned her own way into comedy. She did it herself. She didn't need a man to do it for her.
Duh. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, so it was not random, but not random.
Yeah. So we met at a comedy festival.
We did. We met at a comedy festival. There was a guy that was like the waiting room for the comedians. It was at a bar top. It was at a bar area. Like bar area. And I was sitting there, and there was this. It turned out it wasn't a comic; it was just a rando. Because comics can never be randos.
Yeah, right.
But just like a rando there who was talking to me, and being like a dude, weirdo, rando.
He was just he gave off the vibe, like he was just like creeping you out.
He was giving me the creeps, and so I saw this guy just a little bit down the bar.
That's
and
me.
Him. And he looked nice and normal and not like a creep.
Hey.
So I just kind of shot the sort of like,
save me look.
Yeah.
And I swooped in and just pretended to be her friend. And
and he's still pretending. No.
He's not. I know, right? We're still, after all these years, we're still pretending to be friends.
It's terrible.
Pretending to be her friend, and we ended up getting a great friendship out of it. And so that's how we met.
You really wanted to talk about it. I want people to know nothing about me ever, unless if you are one of the few people that are in my circle.
That's true.
Unless if I'm on stage and then I have to tell you stuff.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you just earn your information,
Yeah.
Like a regular person before social media existed. Like, I don't know, probably some of you guys are watching this. I don't know who you are. You're probably delightful, but it's just weird to me that a story of how I met this guy before you've how did I meet you, person out there?
So let's get to know you though. When were you born? No, I'm joking. No, it's part of the reason why I don't know why I'm so open, hence the name Open Mics, is I don't know, I just like telling my story. I just like being open, to let people get to know me. I don't know why I don't have that fear of not letting I don't let people know everything about me, but I guess there's some things I keep close to me, but for the most part, I think as a comic or as a creator, I don't know, I figure out the best thing to do, just show the personality and hope that shines through.
It does. Your personality is speaking. It is spoken. I don't know. Like, I do think, though, that this is one thing where, well, one's probably our families have influenced us, and also astrology.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a clear, like, you're an Aquarius. I think Aquarians tend to be pretty open with information. I don't know. But the ones that I've known so far, you just air it out. It's great. And I'm a Cancer, and it's not all Cancers I know, but a lot of us tend to be more on the private side. And I'm pretty open about stuff except for things that relate to my home. I'm very, like, private. Secretive about that.
I get that.
It's just, I don't know. It's just how it is. And then my mom's a very private person, too. I don't know.
I know, I get that. I just I guess the reason I want to, like, because you're an amazing performer, you have all this background training, you're starting a new endeavor with a coaching business, and basically like my thing is, like, I want to, like, with your permission, of course.
Yes.
With your permission, of course, I want to promote, like, your new business, your new coaching practice, so that way people can get to know you, so that people can trust you and know that they're learning from someone who has lots of experience to give out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's funny because, and I know I've told you this to you before, and I mentioned it to Pocholo, if you haven't heard his podcast, Pancreation Philosophy.
Shout out Pocholo Cruz.
Yeah. And then Adam Tiller's podcast.
Fathom and Friends. Shout out Adam Tiller.
Yeah. I almost said, I was going to say the wrong name of and Friends. I was going to say Fandom
and Friends?
It's Fathom and Friends?
Fathom and Friends.
You spell that?
Fadam and Friends.
It's like, yes, I mean, I kind of mentioned the same thing to both of them, I think, where when I'm a comic and whatnot, I just sound a little bit different than when I'm a coach, obviously. Like, if I go up there doing coaching when I'm doing comedy, people are going to be like, get off the stage, I didn't come here for a lecture. Or that's just my sister who's like, I didn't come here for a lecture.
So what you're saying is, you don't want, like, are you trying to be careful of, like, which side of, like, the coaching you're trying to bring in?
I mean, it's not even that so much as it's just different parts of your personality come out for whatever task you're doing or whatever thing you're doing, you know? And when I'm getting more, like, you can probably see I'm getting more in, like, a coaching zone, just talking about it, it's a different part of my personality that comes out. And when I'm, you know, I'm not going to make the same sort of jokes and stuff that I'm going to make when I'm doing comedy. Yeah. Or just be sort of like, I'm doing comedy. I don't know.
I just imagine you doing that while you're coaching. I'm doing coaching.
Like, try it another way. What's on there? Like, it's just. Yeah.
So.
But like, this is great, though, because that was one of my goals for this year, was just to be more out there. And because, when I'm not performing, I like to keep things real.
To the chest.
Yes, to that. So, you know.
Well, like I said, like, I don't want to push you to do things that you're not comfortable with. And I really appreciate you being on this podcast.
Thank you. You know, it was a really long commute, so.
Yeah, like the traffic. Traffic was horrible.
Yeah.
So why do you want to start this coaching business? So, what are you trying to do with this coaching business?
Yes, that's a very good question. You see, I just. Okay, no, for real. So why do I want to start this coaching business? So, my mom's a teacher. I always loved school. I mean, don't you dare. I know, don't be jelly. I just always thought, you know, ever since I was a kid, I gravitated towards acting, writing, and teaching. Okay. As, like, those are the three top things that I wanted to do. And I have done I've been doing those to some fashion, you know, for my whole life. One of the biggest reasons, actually the ultimate reason why I went to graduate school for acting was so that I could become a college professor. And as opposed to a non-college professor, like, I don't know. But I really, I really enjoy all the professional things that I do with acting now and comedy and that sort of freedom. So I haven't been looking to go the professorial route right now. Like, things have changed as I've learned more about the business and as I'm in a different place in my life and all of that. But I still really love teaching, and I really love, it's just the creative process. I love diving deep into that. I get really excited about that, and I love helping people out with that stuff. So at this point, it started to feel a little bit selfish if I didn't do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, then I'm just sitting on all this information that I could be helping people with. And I'm not a holier than thou sort of person. And I know the sort of struggles that go into, you know, living in Los Angeles or being the big fish in the small pond, or being the small fish in the freaking ocean. So, or not even a small fish, like a freaking giant, awesome fish, but the ocean is huge and there's all these other fish and sharks and just whatever. Or like tiny fish that have like a shark that take it to where it needs to go. But anyway.
I feel like this just turned into Finding Nemo.
Yeah, it is. You know, you guys, that was not my idea, but Finding Nemo is great. Just keep swimming.
So you have all this information, and like you don't want to keep it for yourself. I know, like recently you've been working with like certain people, like you know, you're trying to get new clients, whatever. Can you speak about how like those sessions went so far?
Thank you. Let me take out those testimonials. No, just kidding. I am gonna put those up here shortly, though, on my website. My website right now, though, it's just my personal website, Samantha Rund at
SamanthaRund.com.
Yes, I was going to give you my email address.
People, you can obviously see it on the on the screen, like SamanthaRund.com.
And that's the Instagram, but Beyond Technique Coaching is on Instagram and Facebook page right now.
So why did you call it Beyond Technique Coaching?
Yeah, I didn't even answer your last question. But the reason why I called it Beyond Technique Coaching is I like the name. And I think that's ultimately what the coaching is for. You know, you learn to help you learn the techniques and move beyond them, because ultimately it's not about the technique. It's about you. It's about your voice. It's about your spark. It's about your journey, and giving you the techniques to empower you on your journey. And yes, that was a question that you asked me. So recently I've also been coaching writers, public speakers, and I soon will be helping somebody who also does fighting.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm just excited to see how the creative process empowers people in what they're doing. And I have a lot to draw on because I've been doing it for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's crazy because it's like, because I've known you for some time. And for me, this is like because you've talked about like wanting to be like build this coaching business for a while now, and you're actually like now you're finally taking steps to do it, and I'm just very proud of you for doing that. I just want you to succeed.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate it. Yeah, because the teaching and stuff that I've done before, it's been while working as a professional actress as part of a theater company, or while I was in grad school. I was a TA. I had my own section of kids. This is going out on my own to do it, right? Yeah. What's like
when it comes to your coaching, like style? Mm-hmm. Do you prefer to have like students, or like, I don't know, clients or students, whatever? Do you prefer them to have like, it's like, hey, this is what I want to work on, or do you have like an overall curriculum? It's like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about.
That's such a great question. And I think, too, that my approach, even in the classroom, was not to say that teachers don't tailor things to students, but even when I was coaching like a week workshop where we studied Shakespeare and then we put on a play at the end of the week, right? We condensed it down. And people would say to me, wow, you're such an interesting teacher. You're a different kind of teacher. And I thought to myself, well, isn't everybody a different kind of teacher? But I think
I'm a horrible teacher. I suck at teaching. Like I could not teach anybody anything.
Well, it's like, yes, you could. Don't downplay yourself. Yeah.
Watch me show you how to run.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
watch me show you how to do this on by yourself.
Run all this, right? But what I like to do, even then was I had my idea for what we were going to study, right? Okay. I knew at the end of the week we were going to put on a play and it was going to be with Midsummer Night's Dream, or I knew we were doing improv or whatever it was that I knew we were doing. And then what I did is on the first day, I'd ask the students what it was that they wanted to learn specifically. And so I'd take notes, I'd go home, and I'd pick at least one thing to address what that person wanted to learn, and I'd build that into the lesson plan.
Nice.
Because it's not about me.
Yeah.
Like, your job is almost not to be invisible, but
the guide.
It is. It's to be, like, to draw that out of the other person. And that's what I enjoy, and I like the puzzle of it.
Nice.
I really like the puzzle of it.
That's awesome. Now, do you is there? Because I know you have testimonials, and I'll figure out how to get them.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. That's Mike Devorism. I mean, other people say it too, but
that's dope.
That's dope.
What was I gonna say? Do you? Is there a certain lesson, basically is where does your lessons plan come from? Are they derived from books you read or movies, or just experience that you've gone through in LA or something like that? Does that make sense?
It does. The inspiration for my lessons, what is my template for it?
Yeah.
Right. And everything that we do in life, I think, is a combination of what we've learned and our experience, because it's coming through us.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I'm teaching something about Shakespeare folio technique, of course it's going to be more by the book of this is this technique. But I'm still going to have my spin on it.
Yeah. That Samantha Rund flair.
Well, you just can't.
The salt baits.
You can't help having your own spin on it.
Yeah.
Even too, when you see with the news, right? It's just you pick a news story, it's going to go through whatever newspapers.
And they're going to have their spin on it.
They're going to have their spin on it. It goes through
right.
It goes through their perception and what they think is important. So what are they highlighting?
Yeah, exactly. Is there it's kind of do you have any workshops coming up, so that way do you one-on-one counseling, or do you do do you offer workshops for a group?
Yeah, these questions. I was like, wow, you got so many questions. It's good. Excuse me. Drinking of tea. That's not related. So yes, I have up both of those things. Mostly one-on-one coachings on video conferencing, FaceTime,
Skype,
Zoom.
I
can't right now. I'm so tired.
You're the one
I've got it on my phone. It's a new tool. I think it's Zoom.
It's something
like that. Look it up. It's so ridiculous. I do not remember all of the words right now. I'm tired.
That's okay.
Anyway, yes. So video conferencing on one thing that actually works, and in person, if we can find. I don't have a studio space at the moment.
Yeah,
that's something that's being built up to. But with commuting and everything like that, it's more convenient for most people to just video it in for the one-on-one sessions. And coming up in March, I do have a workshop I'm really excited to put on. That one is going to be at the University School of Drama, Saturday and Sunday, March 21st and 22nd from 12 to 4. So 8 hours total. This one is designed specifically for women, so sorry guys for this one. But guys, if you're hearing this and you really, really want one that's a men's only workshop led by a woman, you know what? I can come up with something. I have some ideas too, but yeah.
Nice. Why would people want to take part of your sessions?
Mm-hmm.
What would because you said you have a fighter, you have writers, you have like public speaking people taking your lessons. Like, why would someone like that's not into the performance based or theatrical background, why would they want to take your sessions?
Yeah, so right now, the name Beyond Technique Coaching, right? That's staying. I'm still playing around with that tagline. So if you think of something, feel free. I'm open to feedback.
If you can do my job for me.
Right, you know? But right now it says coaching authenticity through performance, because it's just using the performance techniques to draw out your truth or draw out your authenticity. It's all about communication and the ability to communicate without being encumbered by all of that extra stuff. I really do feel like technique is just getting rid of all of that extra stuff. Like, yes, if you're a gymnast, you need to learn the jumps and all of that stuff. But when it's really refined, it's taking away everything that's in your way to perform the move that you want to do. And so through performance techniques, it's taking away all of that stuff that's getting in the way of you clearly delivering your message. So if
is it basically like what you're saying? It's like you getting out of your own head?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You teach people how to get out their own head, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are times when I feel it's like, oh, I'm not good enough, or like, even though like I've been doing comedy for 6 years, I still like when I get these bigger gigs, I'm just like, oh fuck, I suck, like I'm not ready for it. Basically, what you're teaching is people how to like, hey, like stop doing that. You're like, here are some techniques, or.
Well, so yeah, mindset coaching is part of it. Again, it depends on what you need. So for you, yeah, that's something that we can do. You know,
I just got a new teacher.
But for other people, maybe they don't need to work on the mindset coaching as much. It's more their voice gets tired while they're doing it, so they need some vocal techniques, or they want to play with their pitch and that sort of thing to make their message come across in a way that's more interesting. Because like the ear, we're going to tune things out that are monotone.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of techniques that you can do to help vary it up and whatever you need to do.
Yeah. That's very
and then there's physical techniques too. Maybe and we're on comedy right now since you brought that up, but maybe somebody wants help physicalizing their jokes.
Yeah.
Because body, mind, everything, that's all connected. So whatever is getting in the way of you communicating,
your true ideas, your true thoughts, that's what you're there to help get that rid of.
Exactly. And sometimes that is what's getting in the way of that is your muscles not strong enough.
Yeah.
You know, that's part
so
of that.
So what you're saying is like,
too.
I'm not good enough in comedy yet. All right, got it.
Mindset, we're going to work on that.
I'm not bad, I swear. Please, no. But yeah. Well, I'm glad like we talked about your beyond. Do you have anything else to talk about your beyond coaching, or like how can they reach you?
Oh yeah, you could reach me at beyondtechniquecoaching@gmail.com. I've started YouTube for it as well. I've started YouTube, all of YouTube. No, I started my YouTube station on it. There's only one video so far. I'm working on the second one right now, editing it and whatnot. But if you have questions or topics you're interested in, you know, you want, hey, can you write like a little video about this or something? Or, you know, that's what I do. And obviously, I haven't really talked about working with actors, but that's kind of a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Fun too.
Well, do you have anything for me?
Like questions?
Or just anything.
Do you want to have some tea?
I'll have some tea. All right. Well, I guess we'll call it there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. What's up?
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, well, I was like, yeah.
Oh! Can you like change this into 2? Because I haven't talked about the shirt yet. Oh,
no, yeah, go ahead. Talk about the shirt.
Okay, well, I'm going to move this so tight, but this shirt says, "Thank God I'm natural." Gotta give a shout out to Misha McCourtney.
What's up, girl?
What's up, Misha? So Misha actually gifted me this shirt when I was living in Los Angeles, and I really appreciate it because I was workshopping some material about like wanting like hair, basically my hair, and she kind of gave it to me as like another piece of inspiration and like, you can do it, go natural. So I always have my own hair, but I used to put in the chemical relaxer, the straightening hair crack, as they call it.
It is, and like I don't know much about, like, it wasn't until I met you where black people's hair was like
before you even knew anything about it.
I didn't realize there was like discrimination against it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like I didn't know that existed. That's my white privilege right there. Like I didn't know that, like, that was a thing.
That is for sure privilege.
And so like now that I'm more aware of it, and like I see articles of like I saw this one article where this this wrestling referee, this like high school referee cut like this black kid's hair because like for some reason. And like that's discriminatory. And then didn't they pass a law that like they like was it California?
I think California might have been the first, if not the second, but California's the one that I remember because I think there when that happened.
Like where they don't where it's like illegal to discriminate against someone's hair.
Yeah, well, and it's so I still like flat iron my hair and stuff like that to make it straight. It's just the chemicals that are so bad for you. It makes the straightening process a lot easier, but it's bad for you. It makes your hair weaker, and it hasn't all grown out yet. I was thinking of doing the big chop. That's what they call it. Chop it. I mean, like I said, like that's what they call it. And I can't say we because I haven't done the big chop yet, so I feel like I don't get to say that. Nah, that's what we call it.
Yeah, so, I can't wait to do the big chop myself.
But like it's, where is it? This one in the back. This one is all only like, there's no relaxer in it because at the ends, like, yes, this will be part of my coaching. No.
Where we talk about hair.
Yeah, we talk about hair. So it's all springy and curly. And when it's straight, it's a lot longer. But here, I think this part, you have a little bit where it's like my actual curly hair grew out, but then here's the part that's been chemically processed that hasn't all grown out yet. And so I'm so tempted to just like chop it already.
So like, what is like, why is this like so important to you?
Yeah.
Like why, like, because you obviously brought it up.
It is so important to me. And honestly,
teach me.
I'm going to teach you.
So that way I'm not ignorant.
Well, part of it was I had to teach my own self because when I was growing up and I was born in New York. I grew up in Montana. I'm sure if we had stayed in New York, things would have been a little bit different in terms of what I know and what I'm just realizing as an adult. Like I would have known more things in terms of my hair and stuff. But growing up, I just knew, hey, put this stuff in your hair because it's going to make your life easier. A, it's a lot quicker for me to style, but B, less discrimination. Because the more, I mean, I'm already really light anyway, but the difference in how I get treated when my hair is straightened versus when it's not straightened is noticeable. Mm. But beyond that, it was more in the professional world, you know, like, and too, like if you watch movies where it's a high-powered brown woman who's like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, more often than not, she has straight hair. That doesn't mean that curly hair makes somebody less smart. It's just that subtle that perception.
Yeah, it's that subtle subconscious thinking where it's like, oh, that's what's on TV. That's what's perfect. Like, so let me, like, I want to be like that.
Well, and also though, it's down to survival. You know, like people are getting kicked out of school. Little girls have been expelled for having their natural hair out.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to limit my chances any more than they were already being limited.
Yeah. So you did that consciously growing up.
I did.
Okay. How does that make you feel?
And it makes me angry that that's something that had to happen. I mean, I understand that was part of the and even now, I can't wait until my hair is fully natural and I can finally do, like, actually I have to watch all these YouTube videos because I don't even know how to, it's learning how to deal with a whole other head of hair. And you think, oh yeah, it's so easy, it's like my natural hair, it should be easier. No, it's not easier yet, but it'll get there.
It was funny because, like, I remember, like, I realized you started watching these videos because I was on my YouTube. I was just on YouTube, browsing YouTube, and I see all these like black women hair videos. I'm like, well, who's doing this in my algorithm?
yeah. And I love the hair videos because they're all like slow motion and stuff with the hair. It's like you would think it was a sexy video.
Yeah.
Like some music video, but it's just like hair. Like, ooh, ah, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, I obviously had no issues with that growing up.
Right. Oh, but the other thing I want to talk about too. Sorry. So, like, what's the movie that just won animated short? Hair Love.
Hair Love or something. Yeah.
Seeing that, it made me so happy. I saw a woman with her natural hair, but on top of it, it wasn't. Well, mine's. Like I was saying, I was making a first attempt at this, so it's okay. But her hair was her natural hair, but it wasn't put into like a low ponytail or a bun or anything like that. It was bam, it was out there in a Microsoft video. I saw it 2 days ago. Literally, I almost started crying. I might start crying now. Like, it made me really happy. So I suppose that this is part of the coaching, that sort of be your authentic self.
Yeah.
And I'm older now too, so I'm at this point where, like, if somebody doesn't want your authentic self, fine, forget them. Find the person who will. There are people out there that will love your authentic self. There are people out there that you bring your authentic self to them, and it fills them with joy, and it gives them courage that they can also live authentically. And I'm not saying go out there and, burn down buildings and be horrible.
Burn bridges.
Burn bridges or flip people off or be mean or
fuck, this is my authentic self.
Yeah. I don't really think that anybody's authentic self is horrible unless if you've got like some sort of
shitty background.
Well, I don't think that's their authentic self either. Their authentic self is like who they were before all that shitty bad stuff happened to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I think, unless if I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or a neuroscientist, except for on TV. But
hope she plays one on TV.
But don't they, like with some serial killers and stuff? Don't they sometimes have like a damaged part of?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't know. I gotta do research.
This ain't one of those murder podcasts.
Yet.
Yet.
Just kidding.
No. It's I want to go back to what you were talking about, being older and like learning to be your authentic self. That's something that I'm starting to learn how to do, because I guess like it was brought up on my podcast yesterday. Like someone just like it's like as a kid, it's like, was I picked on as a kid? And I think I was picked on as a kid, and so therefore it made me develop this like need to want to be liked. Like growing up, I always felt like I needed to be liked. Even like until a few years ago, I always felt like I needed to be liked. And it wasn't until probably like the last 2 or 3 years I realized like not everyone's gonna like you. Like just be you, be who you think you are, or just not be who you think you are, but just try to be the person you want to be, and that will connect. The right people will connect with that.
That's a good. Yeah, I hear that. I also think, though, that we change and we grow so much in life.
Yeah.
That I don't necessarily think it's fair to say that, I don't know about for you, but when I was younger, I was always trying to be my authentic self. It's just, I've been through stuff. I have a lot more knowledge now. Who I am now, it's different than who I was. Like some things are the same, like some things are constant in life, but there are things that change.
Yeah.
And if you're holding on to this old version of yourself, that's not really...
Not allowing you to grow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing about the hair that's being brought up too is it's doubly difficult as an actor. Because, like...
Like, what did you lose? Did you lose roles because of your hair?
Probably, but I also could have gotten other roles because of my hair. Who can really say? I know that I know that like right now, I book more when my hair is straight, but maybe when my hair is like I really know what to do with it when it's curly, and maybe then I'll start booking more. Then I mean.
You never know.
I don't know. All I do know is that it's very frustrating when you go to a set and you're very excited to be there, and it takes it's a lot of work for my hair.
Yeah.
And to go there and have somebody nearly destroy it because they don't know what they're doing with it, but they're paid to take care of your hair. It's so frustrating. I had one of the biggest, I don't want to say shoots, that doesn't sound right, but it is one of the biggest shoots that I've done. Yeah, one of the biggest gigs, and I can't say what it is yet. I've got to wait a few more months, and I can't wait until I can say it.
Let's just... No,
the makeup artists were fantastic, and the woman who did my hair, lovely woman, but I was so terrified she was going to just mess it all up, break it, the way she was handling it. Real fear, you guys.
Wow. That's crazy.
Also, my pants were too tight.
Mm. Me too. So yeah. Anything else about your hair, or anything hair in general? I that sounds like so. Like, is there anything else you want to talk about your hair? No, I meant to
I don't know. I have never put I have taken wigs to set, and I have just put my hair up under a wig cap. I went to one set and I was like, it's okay. I brought my own, because they were looking at me like, what should I do? And I'm like, it's okay. I brought hair. They're like, what? So I threw my hair under a wig cap and put that hair on. And
what was the most stressful time you were on a set? Do you is there one that comes to my mind, or that comes to your mind? Is there one that comes to my mind?
Yeah, what comes to your mind?
Yeah.
The most stressful time that I had wasn't on a set. It was actually on stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah, okay. This podcast. I mean, you could just cut stuff out, right? If we're talking too long.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So I don't want to name names because, again, with
name them. Drop the names. Let them know. Let these people. Let the audience know who are these shitty people.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't like doing that.
I tried.
Thanks. I know. I was working on a play, and it was one of the first ones that I had done professionally. I'm leaving it vague enough because they're still I'm going to tell you there's still a handful of plays that were done at that time. Okay.
Okay.
And this particular director, I think, was racist. The reason I say that is because they were kind to everybody except for me. They would not direct me. I came in with the right impulse, and every day I would try something new, and they would just say no, 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 until finally before opening, they're like, I don't know why this isn't working for you. And then they told me to do what I did the first day that I came in. And there was supposed to be this chemistry between me and the actor there, and it wasn't working because, well, that's a different story. Anyway.
Go on. No. Continue.
It's gonna be really hard not to name names if I keep on with that. I don't want people to know what I'm talking. Anyway.
Was this in LA or?
I am not going to say it. No, it wasn't in LA because I'd done enough before. But anyway, it was very uncomfortable. It was there was no safe space, you guys. Safe space is so important. There was no safe space there. The actor I was working with he was just not helpful. And then the director...
Why are you taking it out on me? You act like I'm the actor. I don't act at all.
Exactly. That's why it was so hard. No.
Was he a bad actor?
No, he...
Name names.
No, I'm not going to name names.
Drop names. Let's figure out who this racist director is.
No.
Can I guess?
No.
Is it Martin Scorsese?
Oh my gosh. Okay. It was, it's difficult to have a scene that's supposed to be somewhat physical with somebody who is being difficult. We wouldn't speak at all until we got on stage, and then we had to pretend to be kind of in love.
Yeah.
And I told because they made everything my fault, and I'll take responsibility for saying sure, maybe I could have done some things better, but it's a relationship. It's the space between two people. You can't do everything yourself.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to speak up for myself because I was a younger actor. I wanted to make a good impression. I had respect for the director, even if they weren't treating me particularly well. I still have a sort of respectful personality anyway. So it took until that point where finally I said, it doesn't matter what I do. If when I touch him, he doesn't melt, nobody in the audience is going to see our chemistry. And finally she was like, you're right.
It was a she.
I mean, the director. And so that, you know how they say, our failures teach us the most?
Yeah.
That play was the most difficult play that I have done until this point, because I've never been in that, I guess I've been fortunate in never being in that sort of experience where my scene partner and the director, it felt like they were against me.
Yeah.
You know, and I just was working so hard because I was so determined to do my job without any help and people actively working against me. But that experience taught me a lot about how to deal with those sort of difficult situations and how to speak up for yourself. But at the same time, you want a good working environment with everybody.
Yeah. You don't want like to cause any like conflicting like issues on set. But you said it yourself, like at the time too, you were like, I can imagine like being a younger comic. It's like you're putting in like shows where like you're set up to fail. Like, because that's what it just sounds like to me. It's just like, no matter, like, you don't want to like rock the boat. You were just trying to be like a professional actor, but like the cards were stacked up against you.
Right.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of hard to navigate that when you don't have the experience of dealing with that.
Yeah. Exactly. And
so what would you say to somebody now, like in that position? How would you coach them beyond technique?
Yeah. How would I coach them? I think, honestly, what I did looking back, I held my own. I did a good job. I tried different things, what I could have done and what, I guess going back, what I would have done, I would have brought back what my original intention was. Like my original instinct for the character was correct. Mm-hmm. It got shut down. I shouldn't have given up on it so easily. I should have taken the director's note and integrated it into what I was doing and used other tactics, because that initial spark of the character was correct.
What character was this?
I can't tell you.
Ah, come on. We got to know.
That's how you'll find out.
Was it Avenue Q?
It was.
Oh, nice. Got
Definitely, it. Definitely. You guys would find out.
The internet is really, really great for porn. Come on.
Shake my head.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun story.
That was great.
Oh, man. It was crazy.
How long have you been acting?
Well, I mean, it's been over 20 years that I've been doing it, like studying it and like taking it seriously. But I've been doing some form of dress up, pretend acting, like making my own plays or whatever for pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
My poor sister, she had to play Barbies with me for way longer than any older sister should have had to.
Tom, I still play Barbies with you right now.
Yeah. We should do the Barbie episode.
We should.
We don't actually play Barbies,
no,
but if you'd like to sponsor, we need a Patreon account or like a P.O. box so that people can send the Barbies. Hey, you guys, okay, if you're interested in seeing us reenact classic plays, movies, or the Marvel universe.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe with Barbies.
With Barbies.
Let's do it.
Let us know, and there's notes on this.
Yeah,
thing, right? Let us know in the notes. Like
email us at openmicpod@gmail.com, and we'll figure out a way for you to get it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got finger puppets.
Sounds kinky.
I know, that sounded kind of wrong, didn't it?
I got finger puppets.
That's for the Valentine's Day edition.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to do a special...
Are we doing a Valentine's Day episode?
Yeah.
We should. All right.
Now we are. With finger puppets.
My favorite.
Also, you guys, you barely talked. I talked so much this episode.
I was letting you speak. I was trying to showcase you.
Thanks.
And also, like, I'll be honest, I'm new to interviewing, so I was trying to make sure I paid attention to everything you said.
Oh, so what you're saying is like interview all the time. I'm kidding. No, you guys, check out this blanket.
Well, they can't see it on the audio portion of it.
Oh, is this just audio right now?
No, it's going to be both, but it's going to be...
I like that I sound like I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
No, we have the video portion of it, but we also I'm going to release it on the audio.
Oh, right. That makes a lot of sense.
So audio listeners, audio listeners, check out this blanket.
Wait, let me help you.
I wonder if you can even hear that.
I don't know. What I was doing is I was...
Keep doing it?
Here, wait.
You can kind of hear it.
This blanket is so soft. It's white and it's fluffy and...
If it was black, it would have natural fluffiness. Because of the hair.
I got what you were saying.
Come on!
Come on. I had some jokes I was supposed to... Excuse me. I had some jokes that I was working on about the whole hair thing.
Uh-huh.
I need to pick that back up.
What you want to talk about? You want to work this bit out live on air?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. You feeling all right?
No, I'm totally feeling all right. I just, that's so funny to me.
What?
I'm going to tell you that whole story after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I guess we'll call it there then. Unless there's more things to talk about. We can talk about the Harry Potter movies.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about the Harry Potter movies. How long is this? Like an hour already?
So it's we're at 47 minutes.
Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah.
Unless we could save the Harry Potters for the Valentine's Day episode.
We could.
Yeah.
You guys going to be in suspense wondering about Harry Potter?
Yeah, what our thoughts are on it. Yeah. If people have been listening to the last couple episodes, they know my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Totally. Thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just call it there.
Are you going to call it there?
We'll call it there for now.
I feel like that was anticlimactic. No, I mean, I need to contribute something to help.
No, you were great.
This was great. Thanks. I need to, you haven't talked. Tell me didn't you recently watch a fight? Did you talk about that?
I haven't talked about that yet. I watched the UFC 247 Jones versus Dominic Reyes. It was really interesting because leading up to the week of the fight, I watch all the countdowns. I watch the embeddeds where they go behind the scenes of the fighters leading up to the fight. And so I'm usually heavily invested in every pay-per-view. And when the fight happened, I was performing at this venue. So it was funny because I was more... This was one of those rare times where I was more into watching the fights than I was into doing comedy. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but there's just some times where I'm just I'd rather watch the fight than perform this. There's a couple times where I've asked to go up early, just so that way I can go home in time to watch the fights. But the fights were great. You came with me to one of the fights last year.
I did.
Yeah, and basically it was the same. Main event. Mm-hmm. It was John Jones. He was defending his title for the 14th time or something like that. And he ended up what was so good about the fight was he won, but going into the decisions, I had Dominic Reyes winning the fight. I had him winning three of the rounds to 2. Yeah.
But he didn't.
I was so disappointed.
Did you cry?
I didn't. Oh yeah, I cried. I bawled like a little kid. I was so heartbroken.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, that was the. I don't know. I'm just a huge fan of fighting. I feel that when it comes to fighting, it's all about testing yourself, putting yourself out there, and seeing like what happens when you just attempt to do something great.
Yeah. I know. I didn't ever think that I would be watching the UFC or anything like that. People have tried before, so congratulations.
Yeah, high five. Bam. Got you into the fight game.
Oh man, and I can't watch them all the time. Like I have to be prepared to watch the fight.
Yeah.
And what I need to know the backstory so that I have a reason to
root for somebody. Yeah. And I usually
also so that I can see that it's not just like people beating each other bloody. Like if I hear about how they're training and how much they love the sport or any of that stuff, then I'm like, okay, I'm watching these people who are really skilled at what they're doing and like hearing their their technique. I just find that fascinating. But man, brutal.
It is brutal. But I love it. I love the violence. Love it. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick you in the shin. Let's just sit in that silence. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anything else you want to ask me?
I should have had more questions. I was thinking about Sledgehammer just now.
Oh,
because I was thinking at the
Costco.
No, the UFC that back in last year.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking how I was rooting for Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, because he was fighting Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the guy with the sledgehammer tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay. Santos. I think it's Santos. Yeah.
Because I liked his backstory and whatnot. When they were doing the backstory for both of them, his story was the one that moved me the most, and I was like, and he's
he teaches
exactly
teaches kids martial arts and everything.
That got me. I was like, he's giving back to his community and teaching kids. I was like, I gotta root for this guy. And so there were moments during the fight where I was screaming at the top of my lungs, Sledgehammer, Sledgehammer, Sledgehammer. But then afterwards, at the press conference, when Bones, I don't even tell you their real names.
John Jones.
When John Jones was talking about the fights and he was talking about how he knew he had to avoid that knockout from Sledgehammer because if he would have been so damaged from that concussion, who knows what other lasting damage.
Yeah.
I felt so guilty then. I'm like, man, I was screaming at the top of my lungs for this.
You were.
Yeah.
You had a good time. You got to watch Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
I think it was against Holly Holm.
Yeah, it was against Holly. Yeah, Holly.
Yeah.
And again, too, I was super, that's who I'll probably remember as my sort of gateway into the UFC was Amanda Nunes. Well, you obviously, but Amanda Nunes. I was such a huge fan.
Yeah.
And
I got you hooked.
Yeah. And then I wasn't even rooting for Holly at all until, again, I hear more of her story. And I'm like, no, but I'm for Amanda. Oh, but Holly, she works hard too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Okay. We need to figure out how to end this podcast.
Yeah, we need to figure out. We should have finger puppets end the podcast.
Yeah, we can do that.
That was a real hand.
I know. Well, we don't have the finger puppets right now. Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Samantha, where can they find you?
Oh, yeah, at Samantha Rund at Instagram and Facebook, and then Beyond Technique Coaching, Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
There you go. And you can listen to this podcast on soundcloud.com/openmicpodcast. And if you have any questions or any feedback or anything, please email me at openmicpod@gmail.com, openmiked@gmail.com, and I will answer all your questions and comments live on the stream. That being said, thank you to my special guest, Samantha Rund. I am Mike DeVore, and we'll catch you later.